Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. TNA Talk for, well, everybody. So, you can tell who just woke up from a nap. How's everyone doing tonight? Bill's joining me to talk a little TNA in the news tonight. This one's fun.
Yeah, a little Rascals, as we discussed last Tuesday. As Justin's saying, smoke them if you got them, because the Rascals are at the Performance Center in action, reunited. And J-Bone, does it feel oh so good to you?
It does. It does. It still blows my mind, the reception that TNA roster members are getting in the we'll call it the NXT zone. You know,
although J-Bone, did you hear the chant tonight? I think it's our first time ever NXTNA chant.
Oh, I didn't catch that. There
was an NXTNA chant at one point.
That is very cool. That is very cool. But yeah,
a lot there. I didn't think it could be pulled off. I wasn't sure if it would be pulled off because it's kind of a long chant. But I also get them maybe internally not liking it just being TNA chants like it was last week.
Right. And I think the reception also is blowing the minds of the Rascals themselves. They were very emotional. You could tell, especially after winning this match. But what did you think? I mean, and there's not as much. We're not going to, deep dive into too much this week. There's not quite as much to talk about.
There's not enough meat on that bone tonight, J-Bone.
No, there isn't. I mean, there's some stuff. There's a couple news bits we could talk about.
Speaking of bits, thanks for joining us on Twitch.
Yes.
Cheap plug.
Yes. And yes, I have not forgotten. I am going to work on those Joe Hendry emojis. So
we believe in J-Bone. We believe in J-Bone.
We keep believing.
Don't stop.
Well, yeah. So, what did you think of the match itself?
No, I thought it was a good match. Obviously, these three guys know each other about as good as anybody. Long history there, so no shock. Rascals back together. Didn't miss a beat. It was like the treehouse was back, all together. Nice to see. Good kids out there doing their thing, and great to see them get the win. Great to see him get the win, especially as we know the Rascals storyline is playing out on both Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. So, once again, any of our listeners tonight, because we know we've gotten some of the NXT doing the crossover with us. If you're watching tonight, hopefully you watched last Thursday, and we'll be watching again this Thursday on Access as we're continuing to get the Rascals in action.
Oh yeah, it's a great time in wrestling. It's we're seeing crossovers on both ends that are beneficial to both brands. You win some, you lose some, so it's not one-sided, which it feels so refreshing. It really does.
Yes.
And I between how the Rascals performed tonight and the crowd response, just wow. I mean, I got goosebumps just thinking about how well everything came off tonight. And it was also an introduction for me to see how Gallus was. I mean, I've heard of Gallus.
Yeah, I wasn't too familiar. I think we were in the same boat on that one, J-Bone.
Yeah.
Because I'll admit, I've been to some of the NXT shows down there, but it's been a while. So that was pre-Gallus, so I wasn't really familiar with them that much and hadn't really seen them like indie scene wise. So yeah, this is definitely, I had heard about them from afar. So this is obviously when we kind of heard the match announced last week. Looked a little bit into them, but now obviously seeing them in action, impressive as well.
They were. It was you could tell they're a well-oiled machine. These are guys that came up in the UK wrestling industry years ago. You could tell.
Yeah, maybe our TNI UK show tomorrow, Wednesday, which will be discussing last week's Impact. I'm sure they'll probably have also a take on Gallus as well. Maybe a more familiar angle. So stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great to see that. And then all of a sudden, I believe it was Vic Joseph on commentary mentioned Joe Hendry. And as soon as he mentioned him,
he said his name, J-Bone.
He said his name.
And what happens when you say his name, J-Bone?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joining us for the podcast?
I thought he was going to show up. I freaked out for a second. I was like, "Oh my god, here we go." No, but he did show up, and that place. I mean, it was perfectly timed because it was a moment in the action where everybody was doing, spots, and all 6 members of the tag teams were down. So it was perfect. There was a slight lull in the action. He came out, and I believe they were just going to go to commercial break. He walked around, joined them on commentary. And I tell you, the funniest thing about all this, in my opinion, is looking at Booker T's face. Hendry sits down. He's like, he still doesn't okay, he does put over the Rascals. I'll give him that, which is very refreshing. He could be the ultimate heel and be like, what are these guys doing here? It's just 100% negative. But no, he absolutely put over the Rascals in this match. Not so much Joe Hendry. That is kind of, he just kind of looks across the desk, past Vic Joseph, like, who is this guy?
He don't get it, J-Bone.
He does not believe.
He does not believe. But Vic, he's a believer, and he did mention, as Justin's mentioning here, that the Rascals are having heat with the no quarter catch crew. So kind of remembering, because that obviously ties in to the TNA storyline on TV. So,
right.
Because obviously we had a lot of them tonight on the show, but they were in different story, like they were in their own storyline kind of tonight.
Right. They did not cross paths.
They did not cross paths. I thought they might. I was kind of surprised they didn't, but that was the breadcrumbs. Because they're not going to go full blown hey, but last week was about as close as you could see as one. Like they were really synchronization last week between the two shows. This week, not as much so, but still connections, and they were still obviously on commentary doing the same thing. So once again, much more than we've seen in the past. Like still strong partnership.
Right. And very interesting. Interestingly enough, post match, like I said, the Rascals after their win, very emotional, and then in a segment later, Joe Hendry was actually talking to Gallus, and they're so funny. They're like, yeah, we're from Scotland. You can tell we're from Scotland. You come in here in your blue suit. You don't even sound Scottish. And Joe Hendry's like, wow. It was hilarious. So these two had a little back and forth backstage. But then Joe Hendry said something very interesting. It was a little vague, but still interesting. He said, he's like, you know what? I'm going to stick around for a while. I like it here. It's like, okay. That is, I don't know how to take that. I don't know how long that means, but I'm not complaining,
It feels like, especially the way we saw it tonight, Jay, would it shock you if we almost see Joe, I almost don't want to even say it, but weekly, but almost weekly going forward for the time being. Now, they got to be careful with this because even though we're used to seeing Joe on almost a weekly basis, you do risk the overexposure. Now, is that it's a fine thing they're trying to do now. Like, you gotta, like, and I know he gave an interview. Somebody else probably knows it off the top of her head. Maybe Jay, you were going to reference it at some point, but I know Joe gave an interview somewhere that was released in the last day or so that talked about his booking and pretty much that his popularity forced him into the Slammiversary main event. Kind of what we've been saying on the show for a while. This was
I did hear
Bound
that
for Glory storyline that got pushed up because he's just so over. And the thing is, hey, he might remain, and we keep talking about it. It's like the 15 minutes of fame, really. Like Joe will always be, like, he's been in the business now a while. He'll always be something, but to be at this high of a popularity, it's at a peak right now. How long that will last? It might last for months still, a year, like the Bloodline in WWE. That kept on going. Everyone thought that was going to fizzle out, and it kept on going. Now, obviously, without Roman, it's obviously not the level it was. But will the Joe Hendry continue? Like, as long as it's hot, they're going to keep doing it. So I could see it almost being weekly. If you're going to get the pop every week and ratings and all that stuff, it doesn't make. But a lot of times with wrestling, you worry about hitting stuff too much, like going to the well too many times. And that could be obviously he did not wrestle tonight, so they're using him in different ways. But maybe that's what they'll keep doing is kind of teases with him, a tease here, a tease there. So maybe that's what. But I could see that happening almost weekly.
I can see, and I'm almost a little surprised we didn't get an announcement for it. But just the fact that Joe had an interaction with the guys from Gallus. I could see, a match between Joe Hendry versus Joe Coffey, or someone from Gallus. So I don't be surprised if that, happens somewhere in the future.
But J-Bone, we got to stop the show right now because Barry Monkey, he's dropping facts in the chat here. Just to correct Gallus and Hendry, we all know the biggest name in Scottish wrestling is Grado.
Oh, okay. All right.
So just for everyone remembers, Grado, sometimes he goes by other personas, but the Great Grado is somebody that we adore. He's fantastic. But so is this guy.
Isn't Odark? Because he's also...
We haven't played that one in a while, have we?
we get a mention. We get a mention.
Odark. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Well, I'll tell you what. If the rumors are true, if we get a Bound for Glory across the pond, if you will, we will get an appearance from Grado. That'd be great.
We need more Grado. We always need more Grado.
Yeah. He's still wrestling, right? I haven't heard much about him.
Not as much. He's more of an actor now.
Oh,
the actor?
He got the Hollywood bug. if you will.
Terrence, one of our YouTube members, and we thank our members for their membership and their support.
Yes.
Terrence Sullivan, he's keeping it real with us too. I mean, I wish you guys give us a heads up. Thank God I checked Twitter. Sorry about that, Terrence. Sorry about that. I did put it on my Twitter when we went live, but I'll hop on the show Twitter to get that going. And maybe I'll even hop into Discord to get the TNI fam in there. But it was going to be a quick hit show, so we weren't getting too crazy with it since there wasn't a ton of crossover tonight. Probably will actually, like last week, we were going to do a half hour, but you know us, we always go longer than expected. So, hey, not that we're looking for an ad there. Hey now, but but this one will probably be closer to the half-hour show.
Yeah, we're gonna probably wrap up this segment, and I wanted to talk about one more thing that did hit the news today. It's not NXT TNA related, just TNA, but I feel like a lot of people have been wondering about this because they tried to get tickets and then they couldn't or whatnot. Well,
news.
It was announced today that TNA Slammiversary is officially drum roll, please, as I bring up the visual here, which means I'm guessing about over 4,000 seats. That's going to be crazy.
Close to 4,000. Like I don't know what the final count will be, but over 35 with production.
Right.
I don't know if they'll quite, because I think like that the complete capacity was in like that 4,100 range, but you need, unless they do a really downed production, like with not a lot of stuff, but if they do even their normal production, that's got to cut out at least a couple hundred seats. So I'd say that the upper 3,000s is looking pretty good for the pay-per-view.
It's going to be still, no matter what, it's going to be an amazing crowd because it is officially sold out. Folks.
Whoa!
Here's your visual.
You did the thing. You did the thing.
I did the thing, yes. So, congrats to TNA. They've been, doing the whole, marketing thing up there.
PCO.
PCO with the burger and the appearances and whatnot. And there's certainly going to be more, I'm sure announced this week as far as last minute stuff. It's really exciting. There's a lot of hype. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's a lot of rumors. I'm sure there's going to be some last minute matches made because
I'll tell you this, J-Bone. I'll tell you this. Not rumors.
Oh.
Not rumors. Not facts either. But I'm hearing whispers, okay, from people in the company. And this has been going on since the Philly tapings. But a lot of people,
it's the last tapings, right?
High level people involved, they're like really emphasizing this show and this weekend coming up for Slammiversary. So Slammiversary tapings, like it's gonna be, there's something big happening. Like it isn't just like more than just like, it's going to be a huge crowd. It feels like they're really planning to do something. Now, could it be a surprise? Of course it could. Could it be a debut? Could it be something like that? Of course. Could it be a surprise from the relationship? Could it be an announcement regarding maybe a Hall of Famer or maybe something regarding Bound for Glory? It feels like they're really emphasizing about making a big mark this weekend. And obviously Slammiversary, you could say it's one of their two biggest pay-per-views, if not the number one. obviously in the Anthem era, it feels like Slammiversary is number one compared to Bound for Glory. So
and that's kind of gone back and forth over the years. It's, as far as like what happens at each event, you got different opinions, but it's still, it's still one of the big four. So it feels big.
feels big. But you look at like a lot of the big moments over the last couple of years from the Good Brothers, who we saw again tonight.
Yes.
And like that was, once again, that announcement was the biggest like social media thing they had at the time, now surpassed, because they keep outdoing themselves. Which, J-Bone, it was only a few months ago. Like what a whirlwind we've been on as TNA fans. You went from the build to the return of TNA at the beginning of the year at Hard to Kill Las Vegas. And then obviously the Scott D'Amore news and the departure there. And obviously even the roster at the time for at least a couple weeks was like, we don't know. We don't know what it's going to look like going forward. But
they're
what a difference.
Shook up. Yeah.
But what a difference. Now they're reaching a peak going into this pay-per-view. The buzz is there. The ticket sales are there.
I tell you what, if they want to blow the roof off the place, I could see one angle. Now this is just speculation. It's
speculation station. It's a Tuesday, J-Bone.
Yes. Something that just popped in my head because these guys have been in the news recently as far as wondering about their future. I tell you what would be really something is if the Motor City Machine Guns returned at Slammiversary, but not under the TNA banner.
Yeah, like if they do some type of group match, NXT, TNA, and it's like, and the final two members of Team NXT, the Motor City Machine Guns. Right.
Yeah, and it'd be like it'd be one of the first times. I mean, we got, Charlie Dempsey is certainly a heel with his no quarter catch crew. I think I said that right. That one almost rolls off the tongue. Yeah. Thank you. But if it would definitely have a different feel to it if Motor City Machine Guns came back as a heel. They'd get the pop and be like, well, why are they here? Almost, no, not quite, but almost a feeling of like when Hogan walked in and then he turned heel and, what is this? It would
be really be a good angle, especially if they are going to be an NXT team. That would make a lot of sense. And hey, if they then obviously if you bring them and they had an angle where they wrestled on the card or the following one, whatever match it would be, there's only 3 words to say to that.
I love this match.
Is that 3 words? That's
4.
3.5.
Well, and then he extends it, so maybe it's a lot of syllables there.
Yeah, a lot of vowels. So yeah, that's just one thought of something they could do, or maybe make announce Bound for Glory, but it's like a combo NXT TNA show, an actual like a true Forbidden Door, Or no, they can't.
No, Prohibited Portal. Come on, Forbidden Door is outdated. No one even cares about that anymore, J-Bone.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
It's all about the PP. We're talking PP here. Prohibited Portal, baby.
I'm a little hesitant on the PP here. It's the Prohibited Portal. That's okay. That's another one that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? Uh, but oh man, so prohibitive. Am I not saying it right? Prohibitive. I don't know. It's what are words? What
are these words you speak?
I don't know. I'm
alliteration.
So confused. Something. But anyways, Slammiversary is sold out. I'm sure they're going to add something else in the realm of matches. You know, they got this is the final week, you know.
Yeah, because how many matches? Well, I know we'll have that on Thursday, J-Bone, but should we give a little tease? Like, how many matches we got right now, official?
I'll quick look it up here. I got a tab right here.
A tab? Can't have a tab if you haven't ordered anything.
Oh, what?
Want a Pepsi free? Want a Pepsi? You got to pay for it, kid.
Yeah, pay for it. Oh man. But yeah, so if you look at the website on TNA's website, the get tickets is crossed out. So
ain't happening.
No more tickets for you.
Get the TV tapings the following day.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. I don't know. I haven't heard. Have you heard anything as far as like tickets for the following day at all, or no?
I not specifics. I'm guessing they'll have a decent crowd, but I know we kind of talked about this before. After a live pay-per-view, especially a big four, like I know Hard to Kill and then the TV tapings like did pretty darn well after that. Like there was, It was less, but not crazy less. Like sometimes it is. But when you're talking near 4,000, if they got 25% of that, I think that'd be still a victory for TV.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know there are a few. Honestly, I haven't seen anyone report this anywhere, J-Bone. But I know PCO said it on his Facebook. So I'm going with it as a complete fact. Do you want me to break some news to you, J-Bone?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's
right
a fact.
Here, right now.
He said it on his Facebook, but nobody's reporting it. The dirt sheets are going to watch the TNI show, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a story tomorrow morning. But
yes, sir.
At the Sunday, the TV tapings, unknown when it will air, if it will air the Thursday following Slammiversary or later. But what will happen in Montreal, J-Bone? Wear your tux because we're getting a wedding.
Oh.
The wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander. It's happening.
Oh. So, okay, like you said, okay, so you said we don't know when it's going to air.
Don't know when it's going to air.
Because Steph, well, the last we heard was Steph was on the beach, you know, contemplating all these.
I know we were talking about this, and you thought it might be a long layover. And it still could, depending on when they air it. But let's see, technically the latest they could air it is 2 weeks after, so like not the week after that.
2 or 3 weeks. I mean, depending on how much they tape.
Yeah, it all depends. Usually they tape 2 episodes.
Wow.
Well, we know the next taping. The next, it's in August 2nd and 3rd in Florida, in the Tampa area. So it's going to air before that. So before the end of the month. Well, technically, August 1st?
Okay.
By August 1st, the wedding will air.
I feel like it's got to be in front of a crowd. It can't be like a backstage segment like...
no. To promote ticket sales for Sunday, PCO saying, come watch the wedding. So it will be in front of the crowd.
Okay. It makes sense. With as goofy as and as big as its storyline has grown. I'm just thinking like what happened last time at... who got married a handful of years ago? Was it Brian Cage and his missus, or who was it? and then Eddie
Oh.
Edwards showed up drunk, and
We had that wedding. There was a wedding there. Eddie Edwards.
because that was a
Drunk.
backstage. That was a
That
backstage.
was
skit.
that was a cinematic type thing.
Yeah.
But wasn't that a Johnny Bravo or a Johnny? Wasn't that with the Swingerellas? Wasn't that John the Swing Band's wedding?
God, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think Kill Steel. I'm pretty sure that was the Swing Man's wedding. The Swingerella number 2.
Because
remember all the Swingers Casino was all segments. They were all backstage. Obviously, I just played a clip from it.
Oh man. So yeah, there's been a lot of fun weddings over the years.
Oh, and can't forget getting shot at a wedding.
Yeah,
Johnny Bravo and Rosemary. And that was in front of a crowd. Sort of.
Lights out. Yeah. So yeah, there's been some fun ones over the years. And this one is just,
you need a wedding every couple of years.
You do. It's fun, you know. You can't do them all the time, but they are fun. So
and also confirmed for the tapings, a potential world heavyweight title match.
Oh.
Moose in action against the Groom PCO.
Ooh.
Could be a monster PCO push.
In a Monsters Ball match?
Oh, well, that wasn't said. I can't confirm or deny such a thing.
It just flowed. It just felt like, you know. So, there's Dr. Gerbs in the chat. I believe we are going to try to get him on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Gerbs, I saw you messaged me. I'll get back to you within the next day or so, and we'll figure out, you know, plans and stuff. So, loving the chat. So yeah, it's been a fun news-filled day between finding out about the sellout of the Slammiversary being sold out, and then getting the Rascals in action, all three of them versus Gallus tonight in what was, I feel like, just a blast of a match. And then Joe Hendry, you know, also on the episode saying he's going to stick around a while. So, you know, how this is going to play out between TNA tapings and NXT stuff, we don't know.
Well, yeah, and
wait and see.
Let's just once again read some tea leaves, J-Bone. And obviously they're going to be in Montreal this weekend, and we have not yet very widely reported, not officially, I believe, by WWE at this point, but supposedly Natalya, who we've talked a lot about on this program, being maybe involved in Montreal, has re-signed with the WWE. But so maybe that still means maybe something with her still or not. She's obviously based in Florida most of the time as well. And you got to remember, where are they going after Montreal? Tampa.
Yeah.
Not far from the Performance Center. So very easy commute for anyone to show up. So if you wanted to get a head start on any of this, sort of like how they did in Philly, you could definitely do that as long as they got their papers across the border.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that certainly could happen. I'd love to see Natalya pop up at Slammiversary, you know, blow the roof off the place if she shows up to challenge Knockouts champion Jordan Grace. I think that'd be
or possible new champion Ash by Elegance.
It's possible. It is possible, you know.
When you have the concierge, J-Bone.
Oof, that concierge. He's boy, if anything other than Ash winning happens on this coming weekend, oof, that's concierge.
He will not be happy. He will not be happy. You know who else would not be happy, J-Bone? If we did not give a birthday shout out to one of our favorites and hometown boy this weekend.
Oh,
Speedball, Mike Bailey. Happy birthday, Speedball.
I thought we were friends.
We are.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. We love Speedball. The guy's future is, I'll say, limitless. I mean, it could really go anywhere as high as he wanted it to. You know? Guy's really something. So, all right. Anything else? We went just over a half an hour, and I think we covered just about everything. Everything we wanted to, unless you could think of something else.
I know somebody mentioned in the chat a little earlier about the other half of the gut check winners. Here it is. Critical Sting. Critical. Any idea if when we see gut check winner Mike D. Pacheco, since Moose told him he wanted a match in a TNA ring? Because it was him and Harley Hudson that both won the gut check when they were over during the UK excursion. And we have not seen them yet. And then obviously we got the Leon Slater news at the same time. So, but Moose was over there recently and was talking about getting him over. So these could be some things you start seeing happen too, is maybe a transition where you see some of these other wrestlers that kind of been talked about. Like if you haven't seen Explosion recently, like former gut check winner Shogun in action. So even if you're not seeing all these people regularly, they're still connected. Just like if you look, and J-Bone, I don't know how often you look at the TNA roster page, but there's like when we were talking about the knockouts, I think it was last week.
About once a week.
Yeah. But I think we were looking at the knockouts last week, and it was like who not in a tag team could be single contenders, and you go over the names and there's only a couple, but then you look, there's quite a few names that we haven't seen in action in quite some time that are obviously on the roster. We know we talk about Sue Young, but then you have a Savannah Evans, and I know somebody I think even was going on social media be like, Savannah, are you still under contract with TNA? And she's like, yes. So now once again, we may never see people in action. And when that happens at all the companies, WWE, AEW, they might just wait for a contract to expire if they have nothing for them to do. So they might just be burning time for a couple months until contracts expire, but they're still on that roster page for a reason. So they could always return, but they may not.
Yeah, they may not have. I mean, you can't put everybody on the show every week. That's just facts. Everybody knows that. But yeah, it's and she's a friend of the show. We've had her on. We love Savannah Evans. She's a great knockout. We'll see. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Maybe she's dealing. I haven't heard about injuries or anything specific. It could be a combination of things. You never know why. People aren't on TV for a certain amount of time. It is what it is.
Definitely. No doubt. Just also checking. I'm just seeing when this news hit to see if it was news or not, J-Bone.
Oh, okay.
Trying to see if it was on Friday or last Thursday. If we talked about it. Did we talk about Turning Point last week, J-Bone? Yeah, it looked. I think it was next. Yeah, I think we mentioned it. I was just double checking because it broke on Thursday of last week. I was just trying to remember if that. And I think they did mention it quickly on the show that they'll be at WrestleCade. I just want to make sure.
Okay. Oh, there's that. Okay, yeah. We did briefly mention that. Yeah.
But yeah, and I think they did put out a release then. It was confirmed it will be on TNA Plus as one of the monthly specials.
Right. Yeah, and that's great. That should be a great audience for them.
Yeah, you got a packed wrestling convention of fans, so never a bad thing.
Especially with the hype lately. There's a lot of hype behind TNA, and it's growing by the day. So it's great to see. This week should be really exciting. Should be a lot of fun. The UK guys will be live tomorrow. They are going to give their preview of Slammiversary tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to them at noon Central, 1 p.m. I believe. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that's when they go. They've changed their times up just a little bit lately. Let me double check.
Keeping J-Bone on his toes.
They are. They really are. Ties.
And there will be a Slammiversary press conference this Thursday in Montreal because they are definitely hitting the ground there. So definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, it's shortly after noon my time, Central Standard Time, so 12:15, 1:15 Eastern. So yeah, make sure you tune in to the UK guys, and then Bill and I will be back the following day with Alicia, hopefully, and and Dr. Gerbs, because
Dr. Gerbs,
we got a special guest on, and he'll be talking to us about. Well, you met him at the Philly tape.
Correct. Yeah, I'll have the. I'll be Vanna White for a night and be showing off product.
Oh,
with the hands.
I can't wait to get some of that in the mail, because I tell you, my beard needs some work. Let me tell you, this old Bones beard is just fried.
It needs to be spruced up a little bit. You're saying, J-Bone?
It does. It really does. If
it needs to smell, have a nice scent, a nice musk, if you will.
Ooh, that might even attract a Mrs. Bone.
Ooh, kid show.
Kid show, yes. What? So yeah, can't wait to talk to him on Thursday about all things beard oil related. And it's I apologize. The company is escaping me right now.
Mad Cat.
That's it. Thank you. I apologize. It's all new to me. I'm learning. It's,
we will teach the bone.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Who knows what'll happen to J-Bone's beard over the next few months with this new stuff. It'll be a whole new chapter in, dare I say, hair care.
Hey, he's got the Manscaped to keep it all nice and trimmed, and now he will get the beard oil to make it all fresh and proper.
There you go. Can't wait. So for this gentleman, Bill, I am J-Bone. We'll be back on Thursday. Can't wait to talk all things TNA and give our preview. For Slammiversary. We're really excited. So that's right, Zach, a bona fide result. There we go. Somebody put that on a t-shirt. So yeah, we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in tonight for this I guess you can call it news brief, if you will. And but yeah, you can always catch all things TNA on this channel. Make sure you check out all the links in the description as well. And yeah, we'll see you Thursday. Much love, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our stuff hits your screen. We'll see you, folks.